All right, well, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you again for being with us tonight. This is the Why UC San Diego webinar. And I see in the Q&A, we have people literally from everywhere. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. I know we have folks from California, from across the Midwest, New York, Rhode Island, the East Coast, and everywhere in between. So hello and thank you for being with us. My name is Timothy Borch. I serve as Assistant Director in the Office of Admissions with UC San Diego. And again, thank you for being with us for this webinar. In the next hour, we're going to look forward to sharing more information with you about UC San Diego. Basically, why become a Triton? The Tritons, that's our name, the UC San Diego Tritons. Why you should consider coming to UC San Diego, applying to UC San Diego, and then if you're offered admission to come to UC San Diego. I do see that we have students who are also first year and transfer students in the participating today. So again, we really appreciate you being here. I do want to cover a couple of webinar notes before we get started. This webinar is being recorded and will be made available to you once the webinar concludes. We are also going to be posting the webinar recording in our YouTube channel, in the admissions information, so that'll be available in the coming days as well. Engage with us by utilizing the Q&A feature to ask questions. So the chat has been disabled. However, if you have any questions or if you want to just let us know where you're from again and the music you're listening to as you're filling out the application, go ahead and use that Q&A feature. We're going to use that Q&A feature to communicate with our participants tonight, and we're going to try to get to as many questions as we can. Finally, closed captioning is available through the live transcript icon. So if you would like to take advantage of that, please go ahead and do so. Next slide. So tonight's agenda, we do have an exciting program this evening, and we're going to showcase exactly why UC San Diego. We'll begin with a general overview of UC San Diego, an admissions overview, and then we're also going to highlight our academic programs, our unique college system, student life, as well as talking about living on campus and financing your education. We're going to transition after that to my favorite part, the Triton panel, which we have a number of current students here tonight who are going to share what their experience has been like being a Triton here at UC San Diego. And then will also be an opportunity for you to ask questions using the Q&A feature for what it's like to be a student at UC San Diego. What was the transition like coming from high school or community college or another four-year university to UC San Diego, and much more. Finally, we do know that you're exploring your options. So navigating the admission process, there's going to be an opportunity to connect with some of our key departments that serve prospective students, including our admissions team, financial aid and scholarships, housing and dining, and then finally, the Triton Transfer Hub. So we'll have plenty of time to get to your questions. And if we don't get to all of your questions, we'll provide you with some information as to how you can get in contact with us. If maybe you have a question later on, or if you want to just connect with us at some point, we'll definitely be providing that information as well. Next slide. We do ask you, we're not going to be actually calling on people to ask, to respond to questions. So if you do have a question, please go ahead and use the Q&A feature. That'll be the best way to get your question responded to during this webinar. So first of all, why UC San Diego? There are so many reasons why, countless reasons actually. First, we'd like to highlight our location. So San Diego, the motto of San Diego is America's finest city, and it's for a reason. So San Diego is the second largest city in California, and UC San Diego is uniquely positioned in that we are just minutes away from one of Southern California's most spectacular beaches. We're only a 20-minute drive from downtown San Diego. Bus transportation comes right to campus, and students have unlimited rides using the U-Pass system, which is available to all current students. And then an exciting development, which is not too brand new, but we're still feeling the effects of its newness. The San Diego Trolley has 2 stations on campus, and it makes it easy for students to get connected all over town, including the US-Mexico border, which is not far from our campus. Recreation is available, outdoors, kayaking, you name it, any kind of recreational activity. We're just a car ride away from the desert. Of course, the ocean is here, and then the mountains as well. So we're ideally located for those who enjoy recreation or those who are aspiring to enjoy recreation as well. The weather is very nice. I think it's pretty well known that weather in San Diego is pretty mild. It's pretty nice year round, and so we're very fortunate in that regard. And then the campus is 1,200 square acres. So it's a pretty big campus, but students definitely get around. They bike, they walk, they get their steps in, they skateboard, and they use a lot of those automatic scooters now too to get around on campus. So getting around on campus is really easy. I do want to just point out that this screenshot is our Scripps Institution of Oceanography pier jetting out into the Pacific Ocean, which is something that our students get to take advantage of if they're interested in marine science, marine biology studies. So we're very fortunate in that regard. So UC San Diego, thank you. On this slide, we do want to talk about being a top-ranked university. UC San Diego enjoys many top rankings. A couple that we'd like to showcase tonight: top 10 public university in the nation, as said by Center for World University Rankings 2023. That's a very new ranking. And then also the Princeton Review named UC San Diego top 8 top value college in 2023. Students participate in a number of activities that round out their education and add to their experience to enhance their resumes and ultimately their marketability. Opportunities to get involved in undergraduate research are available in all fields of study. Undergraduates present at national conferences and publish with faculty in academic journals. I do want to point out that 18% of undergraduates study, research, and volunteer abroad in 70 countries. So those study abroad, volunteer abroad opportunities are definitely available to students to take advantage of. And we want students to really have that rich experience. The campus also provides a variety of opportunities for students in all areas to study abroad in global seminars. And that's just an example of what a study abroad experience might look like. And those are 5-week summer abroad opportunities where students begin to learn a new culture, begin to learn a new language, and can get college credit for it. So we're very excited about that. Finally, I do want to mention that UC San Diego is very unique in that we do provide co-curricular records for students. So students are provided with an official validated record that highlights their co-curricular experiences and their competencies that they have developed while they're UC San Diego Tritons. This will include information about research and academic life, student engagement, campus life, community-based, global learning, professional career development, and much more. Next slide. At this point, I do want to highlight some of our majors. UC San Diego offers 150 majors across 8 academic schools. The list of majors can be found on the requirements and majors page inside the Triton admissions guide. And one of my colleagues will be dropping a couple of links in the chat so you have easy access to these additional resources. We offer opportunities in all areas, including the arts and humanities. So you can see the 8 academic schools are delineated in right in the blue. And so all of them are listed, but I do want to do a shout out for the arts and humanities, and because arts and humanities is sort of a hidden gem on our campus, and the resources that are available and really supportive for students to thrive in those areas. So in terms of arts and humanities, it is a top 5 college drama program around the world, according to the Hollywood Reporter, and it is home, we are home to the UC La Jolla Playhouse. So the La Jolla Playhouse is on the UC San Diego campus. This is a Tony Award-winning professional nonprofit theater. I do also want to finally mention about arts and humanities that arts and humanities majors are encouraged to submit the optional portfolio when they submit their application for admission. But you can see all the different academic schools are listed. I do want to point out there are some selective majors at UC San Diego, and those are delineated on the left-hand side in the white text box. These majors are definitely available and open to students, but they are selective, so enrollment may be limited. They include all majors in the biological sciences, business economics, data science, all majors in engineering, including computer science, and then all majors in public health. Students in these programs should list those as their first choice. So if you're interested, for example, in public health, list that as your first choice major on the application. But we do encourage students to select an alternate major if they are selecting one of these selective majors on the application for admission. I do want to point out for first-year applicants, if we are unable to admit an applicant to their first choice major, they may be admitted to an alternate major or undecided if there is space available and they meet overall selection. For transfer students, if we are unable to admit an applicant to their first choice major, they may be admitted to their alternate major if space is available. Please keep in mind that for transfer applicants, we do not admit undeclared. Students must select a major on their application. So if you are interested in a selective major, select that as number 1, but then utilize that alternate major as well to help maximize your chances of gaining admission to UC San Diego. Next slide. The college system is very unique. And so this is something I wanted to spend just a few moments talking about. The colleges help students thrive as they create an opportunity to make the university experience more personable, more approachable. The college system allows students to experience really the best of both worlds. The advantages that come with being at a tier 1 research institution that has both state-of-the-art facilities and world-renowned faculty, while also at the same time being part of a smaller community through their college affiliation. New first-year students are housed by college in the college neighborhood. Academic advising, the dean's office, provost, all of those are through the college system. So each college has their own advising. In fact, each college not only has their own advising, but they have student government opportunities, organization leadership opportunities, traditions, special events, and students who are in one college will be taking classes all over the campus. So the classes are not delineated or set by college, but if you're a student in, for example, Revelle College, you'll be taking classes with students from all the different colleges. So remember, it is any major, any college at UC San Diego. We do not affiliate a specific college with any particular major. So any, for example, music major or computer science major, or maybe political science major, or history major, for instance, you can study at any of the colleges that are delineated here. I do want to also point out that 8th College is our brand new college for first-year students, and it will be available for transfer students starting in fall of 2025. Students rank the colleges on their application for admission. If offered admission to UC San Diego, a college is assigned based on where they rank the colleges. So that's also an important point. But I really want to get to this community resources information, because community resources, so not only do we have the college system which provides more support for students here at UC San Diego, but the community resources are also, it's another opportunity to provide opportunities to build relationships by increasing awareness of social issues and encouraging dialogue. Most centers offer internship opportunities as well as places to study, take naps, print papers, eat, and hang out with friends. So you can see the community resources are listed here on this slide, and our students really feel part of many different communities here at UC San Diego. Next slide. Student life. There's always something happening at UC San Diego. So when you're not busy studying as a UC San Diego student or doing an internship or maybe doing research, we want you to have a fun experience, a good experience by connecting with other students and staff and faculty for that matter. There are over 600 student organizations on campus, and this includes campus-wide events, organizations in individual colleges as well. Organizations vary by interest, including academic-related, extracurricular, Greek system, as well as intramural sports and more. You can see some of those are listed here on this slide. There are a variety of campus events as well each year, and some of those include our Meet the Beach event, our Sun God Festival, which happens in the spring, dinner and a movie night, laser tag trivia, and much more. UC San Diego did make the jump to Division I not too long ago, and we are a member of the Big West Conference. So if you're not a competitive athlete, you can still take advantage of going to these events and connecting with other students and your other students on campus to have fun. Some of our events are really, really well attended, and our sports are really thriving here at UC San Diego. So I do also want to mention there are some specific organizations related to transfer student experience. And the big one that I want to highlight is the Transfer Triton Hub. We have a special guest during our resource panel who is from the Triton Transfer Hub, and we'll talk more about what the Triton Transfer Hub is to support our transfer students and our allies of our transfer students. Remember, at UC San Diego, a third of our new students every year come in as transfer students. Next slide. We want to talk about living on campus. So incoming first year and transfer students are guaranteed 2 years of on-campus housing if they meet all deadlines. UC San Diego is third in the nation for student housing inventory with over 18,000 beds. So that's a lot of beds. Campus housing, dining, hospitality, we offer dozens of restaurants, markets, food trucks. All the different kinds of food options are available, including vegan, kosher, halal, organic. And we're also very lucky to have a couple of folks from housing and dining and hospitality with us during the resource fair who can answer any specific questions that you might have. For first year housing, students are housed by their college neighborhood. So in their college neighborhood, they have housing assigned there. And then for transfer students, we have a very nice on-campus community for upper division and transfer students. They are housed at the Village at Pepper Canyon, the Rita Atkinson Residences, and Transfer Living and Learning Community at Warren College. Also want to point out that the Pepper Canyon West Living Learning Community is set to open up in fall of 2024, which will be next year, for any of you students that are applying this year for admission, which would be for fall 2024. That potentially could be an opportunity for you for living on campus. Nothing really beats living on campus. You're next door to everything and everyone. Next slide. Financing your education. This slide shows an estimated budget for the 2023-24 academic year at UC San Diego. The breakdown shows a variance depending on students, whether you're living on campus, off campus, or maybe with family. And so you can see the estimates are listed here. There is a non-resident tuition amount added for students from outside of California, and you can see that's also posted on the slide. I do want to point out a couple of factors. One, the tuition stability plan. This plan provides you and your family with the comfort of knowing your tuition rate will stay the same for up to 6 years, allowing you to plan financially without any surprises along the way. You will still pay applicable campus fees, which are not included in this policy. The policy does include tuition, student service fees, and non-resident supplemental tuition. What it does not include are the campus-based fees, which are not covered and may change from year to year. More information on the tuition stability plan may be found on our financial aid website, and a colleague will drop that link in the chat as well. And so you can see all this information is posted online. Actual tuition fees and charges are subject to change. And I'd like to advance to the next slide, please. Applying for financial aid. So scholarships, grants, loans, and work study are available to students. Applying for financial aid using the FAFSA, which is short for the Free Application for Student Aid, Federal Student Aid, or the California Dream application. If those links can also be put in the chat. So the submission period, it will open up in late December this year, which is a little different than usual. So it's going to open up in late December for both the FAFSA and the California Dream application. The priority deadline is going to be March 2nd. There may still be some time to submit it afterwards, but we really encourage students to get it by that March 2nd deadline. As we encourage students to enter their social security number as well, because this will help us to match your application with your financial aid information. And that's the only purpose as to why we utilize that information. The blue and gold program. So the UC colors are blue and gold, and we have a blue and gold program. The university has a commitment to California residents who have a total family income below $80,000 and meet following requirements. The following criteria include California residency, submitting your FAFSA or California Dream app by the March 2nd deadline, being your first 4 years of attendance as a first year or first 2 years as a transfer, and then there are some other criteria as well. This blue and gold program is covered by grants and or scholarships for California students with families of incomes of less than $80,000 who have financial need. I do want to also point out we have somebody from our financial aid and scholarships office who is also going to be available to answer some questions tonight. We really appreciate her being here for this particular webinar. Next slide, please. Apply today if you haven't already. We know that several of you probably have already submitted your application. So the application opens August 1st historically. So for this year, the application did open August 1st, and the filing period is up until November 30th, October and November, the filing periods. Students will basically be notified first year of their admission notification by the end of March. And then for transfer, the admission decisions will be out by the end of April. I do want to point out for transfer students, if you are submitting an application, there will be an opportunity for you to provide a transfer academic update in the month of January. And that's important. You'll get a lot of notification reminders on how and when to do that. First-year students must accept the offer of admission by May 1st. That's what we call the accept your offer deadline. And for transfer students, that deadline is June the 1st. Finally, there is an $80 fee for the application for domestic students and a $95 fee for international students. There are fee waivers available embedded. The process is embedded within the application, and we would encourage you to review that information very closely when you're submitting your application for admission. And with that, I'd like to segue to our Triton panel. So as I mentioned earlier, this is a time that I really enjoy where students get to connect with other students, our UC San Diego students. So if our UC San Diego students who are on the Triton panel, if you can come on and turn your audio on and your video on, we'd like to run through some introductions and get you introduced to our attendees today. So we're switching gears. And so our student panelists, part of the Triton panel, they may have tips for you about submitting the application or about what it's like to be a student. So if we could go down the line, if you could please let us know your first name, your hometown, your major, and your UC San Diego College. We'll go from there.
I can start. Hi, everyone. My name is Ella. I'm really glad to be joining you today. I'm originally from LA. I am currently majoring in business economics and minoring in dance, and I'm in 7th college.
I can go next. So hi, my name is Alex. I pronounce her Chile. I'm originally from South San Diego, so yeah, I love San Diego a lot. It's enough to stay here. Anyways, UC San Diego is a beautiful campus, and here I major in visual arts media, which is the study and practice of time-based art making practices. That's a very fancy way of saying filmmaking and photography taking. I have more of an emphasis in filmmaking. I also have a minor in the studio arts. So I'm a very big visual arts person at a STEM school, but we love our visual arts, just as Timothy said earlier, and our humanities as well. But yeah, I'm in my 4th and final year, and I'm very excited for what's to come.
Great.
Hi guys.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm Vivian. I'm a double major here at UCSD. I'm a 3rd year. My majors are sociology and psychology. I am currently living off campus, and yeah, I went through a double major process. I'd be happy to answer anyone's questions about that, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit about my experience.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Jenna. I am a 4th year here at UCSD. I'm a global health major. I'm originally from Denver, Colorado, so I'm an out-of-state student. And I'm also involved in like the ski team at UCSD and stuff like that. And I'm in Revelle College.
Hi, I'm Melissa. I'm a 4th year studying literature and writing in Tubman 6 College. I'm from LA and I'm here representing the Triton Transfer Hub, which is like a resource center for all transfers. So I'm excited to tell you about what we do and about my experience here at UCSD. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. So the first question, and again, for our attendees today, if you can use the Q&A feature if you would like to pose any questions. We'll try to get to all those questions or as many questions as we can. But the first question, and I'm not going to ask every panelist to respond to all the questions, so I'll ask specific panelists to respond to specific questions. But I do want to have everybody respond to this question, sort of a brief summary. Why did you choose to attend UC San Diego? And if we can start with you, Jenna.
Yeah, so I chose UCSD. I wanted to get away from the cold, being from Denver, Colorado. It's always cold there. It's always snowing. I also was really intrigued with the global health program and the global seminars. So we'll talk probably more about it. But global seminars are one of our study abroad programs here at UCSD. So instead of going away for like a quarter or semester here at UCSD, you actually go with for 5 weeks over the summer, and it's super cool because you go with the professors from UCSD. And it's just like the perfect amount of time to immerse yourself. And once you're already out in Europe, you can, or wherever you go, you can kind of just travel super easily. So I'll be doing that program this summer, and I'm super excited for that.
Great, thank you. Alex, how about you? Why did you choose to come to San Diego? I know you mentioned you like San Diego.
Oh, yes. So for me, it sort of helped that it was already such a great school in an area that I was already in. So I felt might as well apply just to apply. If I get in, I get in. That's great. The reason why I decided to commit to UC San Diego is because of all the good resources that we have here. We have a lot of good advising. So we have separate academic advising for major versus for your college. And like our advisors on both hands, they're very good in getting back to students. You can submit a message to them via email or via the virtual advising center, and they get back to you. They say less than 48 hours. In my experience, has been less than 12 hours. So a lot of good grants, research grants, undergrad research that you can get involved with, all of that. So yeah, in my experience, there's a lot of cool things to get involved with here at UC San Diego that can help you in building a career, help you learning a lot of cool stuff. And yeah, I think it's worth it.
Great, thank you. How about you, Ella?
Yeah, so I'm a business econ major, and I knew that Rady School of Management was definitely like an up and coming program. And I kind of had done some research on their faculty and like the professors before, and they were very accomplished. They have a lot of resources and they're always willing to help students. So that was what really drew me. And I'm also from LA, so like San Diego's not too far, and it's just there's a lot to do. The weather's always beautiful. So yeah, I was definitely drawn to the campus because of that.
Great, thank you. Melissa, how about you?
I chose to commit to UCSD because when I visited here, I liked the campus and the vibe of the students. And I also loved like the professors that were a part of the literature and writing program. And I read some of their books and I really liked it and I wanted to work with them. And yeah, I like the vibe. I like that there's so much stuff to do. I'm from LA, so I can just take the train back home too. So yeah, so I chose to commit here. Yeah.
Vivian, how about you?
Yeah, so I'm originally from the Bay, and honestly, UCSD was kind of a perfect distance. It's not so close that my parents could visit me in a day, but it's far enough that, or it's close enough that I could go back for a weekend if I wanted to. The flight is short. I visited the campus as well before I came, and I loved the beach. I'm in 7th College, which is really close to the beach as well. Highly recommend, great dorms as well. And so you can just walk to the beach. That was really appealing to me. I love California weather. I also looked into the extracurriculars before I came here. Our student newspaper is something that I'm currently involved in. The UCSD Guardian is an incredible source of journalism here. I highly recommend that. We have so many other options for extracurriculars as well. It just seemed like such a great place to get involved in really any kind of field that you want, whether it's, STEM, arts, journalism, social sciences, whatever. So it was really pretty appealing to me from the get-go.
Great, thank you, all of you. So we have a varied of interests, a lot of different majors, a lot of students from all over. And so this is really showcasing how, in fact, UC San Diego really has a very diverse group of students from all walks of life and all interests. I do want to ask a question. We talked about the college system. Ella, if you can explain a little bit about how you've benefited from your experience at UC San Diego with the college system, how has that helped you to become a better student?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in 7th College, and honestly, like because the campus is so big, I've really been able to kind of develop a smaller community. And it's nice just because, I'll be walking around campus, I can be in Marshall or I can be in Revelle, and you always see someone that you know. And I definitely think that that's just been reinforced by the college system. And also there's just always someone willing to help. There's always someone in a different major who you might, just happen to be neighbors with, and you guys kind of come together, study, and it has really helped me gain just different perspectives, which I've been able to take into, my academic career, which I've able to take into the classroom as well. So yeah, it really just allows you to kind of build a smaller community within this large campus. And it's definitely helpful to see familiar faces and know that, kind of everyone's on your side and we're just all there to help each other.
Great, thank you, Ella. I do want to pose a question also. How many of you actually live on campus? If you could just, do any of you live on campus right now? Ella, you do. Melissa, you do. Jenna, you don't. Okay, and Alex, you don't. Melissa, what's it like to live on campus?
Okay. Living on campus is really, for me, it's convenient. So I can like walk to my classes. And if I'm running late, I could use my scooter. But yeah, it's super convenient. There's lots of food options too, as well. And I'm living in transfer housing, so I live near the trolley. So whenever I want to go somewhere, I could just hop on the trolley. And yeah, I like living on campus. It's really good. Yeah.
I understand that transfer housing is very, very nice.
It's very nice. It's actually this apartment this year is actually bigger than last year, so that's nice. And it's closer to campus, and which is good. Yeah.
Great, thank you. I want to also ask about dining. So I know even if you're not living on campus, there are opportunities for all of us to really eat on campus. And would any of you like to share your favorite place to eat on campus? And I know everybody's got one. So why don't we actually start with you, Vivian?
Sure, yeah. I think the best dining hall is 6. There's just a lot of options in there. I like Mackay. They have poke bowls, which are delicious. So I'd say I'm a big fan of the 6 dining halls.
Anybody else like to share?
I'm gonna advocate for Ocean View Terrace. It's in Marshall College. It's one of my favorite places to eat. They have like a BLT bagels and like acai bowls and smoothie bowls. So they're super good. I love going there, especially if like I just had like a kind of like a heavy like maybe lunch, like a nice dinner might be like or treat might be like an acai bowl after dinner.
Great. Yeah. Alex?
I was gonna follow Jenna's lead and say Ocean View Terrace, but I'll point out a different one so everyone can learn about Pines, which is at Muir College. And so for those of you who are vegan or vegetarian, they have a very good vegan option, an array. It's called Roots. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to eat, and I love going to Muir's.
Great, thank you. Thank you for that. That's really helpful. And I do want to point out, we also have a farmer's market on Tuesdays. So just about anything you can imagine we have here at UC San Diego. We only have about another 2 minutes or 3 minutes for our Triton panel. So I do want to ask a question just about research and internships. Have any of you engaged in any research or internship opportunities at this stage in your academic endeavors? Jenna, why don't you go ahead and share what that was like?
Yeah, so I just applied to a couple this summer, and something that's a kind of a requirement for global health majors is a global they're called like global health field experience. So I've spent 100 hours in the field. So I have one internship and one volunteering. I actually we partner with UCSD a lot. So I volunteer at the UCSD Jacobs School. So I am in the PACU, the post anesthesia care unit, and I'm there once a week. And then my other internship is in El Cajon. It's about a 20-minute drive. I work with the International Rescue Committee, and I help with refugees and help the resettlement department. So I go out there about 10 hours a week.
Wow, interesting. Thank you for that. And so I think I'm sorry, Alex.
Yeah, I can talk about internships. So we have an on-campus internship. It's unpaid, but it's very cool. It's with Triton Television. And so we're a film org here on campus. And so I did their internship where in the first phase, you make a student film for the fall quarter. And then the next quarter, you will make a solo film. I know that right now they're changing it, but I'm actually mentoring one of the interns right now. So I've kind of moved on with them. Like I'm still involved with Triton Television. And then in terms of like undergrad research, I'm actually doing my own student film, which is a thing that you can do within the media department, though there's various different ways of making your own, I'd say undergrad research within the biz arts department. So it can be like a photography exhibit or anything at all. But yeah, there's a lot of opportunities for things like that.
Great. Well, it sounds like our students are busy doing a lot of interesting things here on campus. So opportunities abound. And with that, we've actually run out of time for the Triton panel. I know it goes by so quickly, but our Triton panelists will be available to respond to questions in the chat. So please join me in thanking our Triton panelists for being here this evening. And thank you for answering these great questions from our attendees. And with that, I'd like to go on to the next slide. And the resource panel. So if our resource panel experts can please switch on their audio and their microphone, audio and their video camera, we will get to the resource panel. We've covered a lot of information in a short period of time, but we do want to make sure there's plenty of Q&A for these specific departments. If we could, let's start with your name and your department. Julie, if you can just let us know what your department is and what your role is, and then I'll go down the list.
Okay, hi. My name is Julie Doherty. I work in the Financial Aid and Scholarships Office, and I am a financial aid counselor.
Great, thank you. And Christina.
Hi, my name is Christina Sandoval-Piquet. I'm an admissions officer and transfer advisor here at UC San Diego.
Thank you, Christina. Malia?
Hi, everybody. My name is Malia Mahi. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm the Associate Director for Housing Administrative Services, and we perform the contracting and billing for your campus housing. Welcome.
Thank you. And Pam?
Hi, everybody. My name is Pamela Kramer. I'm the Dining Engagement Coordinator. Our department handles special events, marketing, social media, and community outreach. Nice to see everybody.
Great. And then finally, Melissa is going to stick around for our resource panel. Melissa is also a peer coach at the Triton Transfer Hub. And so we have been getting a lot of questions. And so I want to dive right in the remaining time we have. There's a couple of great admissions questions. And so if I may, Christina, why do the GEs differ between colleges? So that's a question we've received. And how do we know which college to choose? How does a student know which college to choose based on their major?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Timothy. And that's a question that gives a lot of students anxiety when they get to that part of the application about ranking the colleges, right? So I like to think about the college system as a choose your own adventure, because there are 8 different options you get to choose from, right? There are 8 colleges. Each college is going to have a theme, and those themes will then influence what your GEs are going to look like and what you're going to be required to take in addition to your major requirements. Now, in a lot of cases, you can double dip between your GEs and your major requirements. So I saw a question about AP credit. Can I use my AP credit to meet both GE and major requirements? Absolutely, you can. You just have to double check and make sure that the the AP score that you have is going to match either the GE requirement or the major requirement you're trying to fulfill. So that's one thing to kind of consider. But what I always tell students is that your GEs and how they're set really is going to be a personal choice. So a lot of students end up going on YouTube, or they end up going on Reddit, or they go on a Discord and they ask their peers, what college should I pick for what major? And one of the things you're going to hear often is, my college is the best college. So you're going to get a lot of really personal questions about that one student's personal opinion. But really, it should be up to you based on what your academic goals are, what your future goals are going to be as well. Some colleges are going to require you to take a foreign language. It's great for students who want to show proficiency on a resume, on a CV, as they're getting ready to apply to graduate school, that they are proficient in foreign language. And some colleges are not going to require you to take a foreign language. Some colleges are going to require you to take courses aside of your major, which is great for students who maybe are considering double majoring or minoring, but maybe not. Maybe they're like, I'm interested in this and I want to take courses in it, but I don't necessarily want to double major or minor in it. You might want to look at the colleges that have you take at least 2 upper division level classes outside of your major as part of your GE requirements. Some colleges are going to require you to do experiential learning. So they're going to require you to do some level of like self-directed project, research, internship in order to meet a GE requirement. That is a great option for students like myself who wanted to do undergraduate research, but maybe knew that if somebody didn't make them do it, they weren't going to do it, right? So that was in my case. I chose a college that required me to do something like that because I knew that if I wasn't forced to do it, I wasn't going to do it. So I made sure that I chose a college at my UC, which was not UC San Diego, because there is another UC with a college system, but I made sure that I chose my college GE pattern that best matched my professional and my academic goals. And so as you're reading those GE patterns, think about that. Think about the future. Think about, what are my goals in college? What are my professional goals in the future after college? And try to find the GE pattern that you feel is going to be the best fit for you. So that is my take on the GE requirements and how you should rank them, because I know that a lot of students have questions on that. But just remember that how you rank the colleges will play no role in your ability to be able to get admitted into UC San Diego or your ability to get admitted into a specific major. Those are things that are completely done outside of that whole process.
Thank you, Christina. That was an excellent response. The next question is for Julie. So Julie, we have a question about, are merit-based scholarships available to out-of-state students? And maybe expand the question just in terms of what financial aid opportunities are available for out-of-state students. I know we have quite a few out-of-state students participating tonight.
Okay, great. That's a wonderful question. Unfortunately, at this very moment, we internally do not offer any merit-based scholarships to any non-residents of California. We do encourage all non-residents to, once they do apply, if they are admitted for their first year, we are not able to typically offer non-resident scholarships, but if they apply for scholarships for their second year, we are able to offer merit-based scholarships specifically to non-resident students. And that does help with a lot of non-resident students' tuition and fees. Because we do have a fairly large amount of non-resident students who do attend UC San Diego, but unfortunately, as of this year, we are not offering any non-resident scholarships.
Thank you, Julie. That's really good to know up front. And so thank you for being so transparent with that information. The next question is for Malia and maybe even Pam. How do students even apply for housing on campus? Many of our students talked about how much they enjoy it here. How do they apply for housing?
Sure, Tim, I can take that one. So first you need to submit your admission successfully. And then you also want to say yes to UC San Diego. For our first years coming in, that's typically around May 1st. For the transfers coming in, it's typically around June 1st. And then about once you've done that, admissions does provide us the list of students that have said yes to UC San Diego. We will reach out to you both to your personal email and your ucsd.edu email to invite you to apply for housing. Typically, your application is going to be due about a week after the deadline to say yes to UC San Diego, so around May 8th or June 8th. And then it's fast and furious, so you want to make sure that you keep an eye on your emails. It will go through application first, and that's about a week. The following week, you'll be asked to sign a contract and provide a $450 prepayment. And then you're pretty much done until we get to the time to maybe apply for a living and learning community, which Timothy mentioned earlier. If you're interested in gender inclusive housing, you can opt into that option. And then you usually will get your room assignments around mid-August. So it is fast and furious, and a huge recommendation to make sure you're checking your ucsd.edu emails regularly, so you don't miss any notices.
Thanks, Malia. And Pam, a follow-up question just about, I understand there's a dietitian on campus to help support students to explore their dietary needs.
We actually have 2 registered dietitians that are just part of the dining team. There are other ones on campus, like with athletics and stuff, but we have 2 that can meet with you. It's a free and confidential service to any of the students. If you want to work on meal plans, or if you're a student that's living with an allergy or has any other medically necessitated diets, they can work with you, get you enrolled into our allergen program, and help you work through eating at all the different locations. They're a great resource.
Great. Thank you, Pam. And Melissa, I do want to ask, as a member of the Triton Transfer Hub, as a transfer student here at UC San Diego, what exactly does the Triton Transfer Hub provide to our transfer students?
Well, at the Triton Transfer Hub, we have our peer coaches. We're here to help ease the transition for transfer students coming into UCSD, connecting them with resources, whether that be questions about financial aid, admissions, all of that. Any question you might have, you can meet with one of us. We also have our academic support advisor, who is here to help you if you're struggling academically. She can help you make goals, and you can meet with her. And we have our research and involvement coordinator. If you need help, Elizabeth is available to help you find research opportunities, employment opportunities. So yeah, we have a lot of resources. We're also just a space you can hang out in and study and print, and we have fridge, and there's lots of different things you can do at the Triton Transfer Hub as well. And we're also always holding events for Triton transfers. And yeah, we're just a space for anything that you might need or want at Triton Transfers for transfer students. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, Melissa. And I've been over to your space. It's very nice and very welcoming, for sure. And so with that, I'd like to thank our resource panel. We are just about out of time. So thank you, resource panel, for responding to these questions. I know you've been responding to questions in the Q&A as well. So thank you for being available with us to be with us tonight. I do want to advance to the last couple of slides. So connect with us. If a question comes up after tonight's webinar, for sure, we have events happening. We also have tours that are available, and then also our contact form. If you would like to get in touch with the admissions office, please utilize that contact us form and we will respond as quickly as we can. Specific questions about the application may need to be redirected to the UC Application Center if it's of a technical nature, but definitely reach out to us on the contact us form. Next slide. Follow us on social media. We're everywhere. So you can find our hashtag and all of our information on this particular slide, our YouTube channel as well. That again is where we are going to post this recording in the next couple of days. So we want to make sure you have access to this information. More questions, contact us. We have our telephone number and again, our contact us admissions.ucsd.edu/contact if you want to get a hold of the admissions office. There's also a QR code on this slide as well. And with that, we'd like to thank you again for joining us tonight. We know you have a lot of different options in terms of universities and colleges, and we really appreciate you taking the time to ask those great questions and to be with us. Hopefully we'll see you in the applicant pool and see you perhaps at a future date at UC San Diego. Thank you for joining us. See you next time.